If there's one thing that makes me sad, it is the disappearance of arcade games in recent years. I mean, with the exception of Japan, where they seem to be as popular as ever, it can be quite difficult to find yourself a good old arcade cabinet if you're in the mood to play. This especially sucks because this has led to some old favorites seemingly lost forever. Luckily though, with the invention of video game consoles, it has become possible to play some of these arcade classics right from the comfort of your own home. That, of course, brings us to today's topic, which is a port of a beloved SEGA title called OutRun. Does it hold up, and is it worth playing? Let's find out. Originally an arcade game released by SEGA back in 1986, OutRun is a driving video game that just hit the Nintendo Switch as part of the SEGA Ages collection of retro video game re-releases. Jumping behind the wheel of a sleek red Ferrari Testarossa Spider, the goal of OutRun is to drive to one of the 5 goals, labeled A to E, without running out of time. Though you begin the game with a small timer and on the same stretch of road each time, after an area is cleared, checkpoints allow the player to increase their time, while forks in the road allow you to select the next area you will cruise through. In the end, if you manage to make it to one of the goals, A, B, C, D, or E, there are 5 different endings, each with their own closing cinematic. Now, when it comes to what I like about the game and what I think makes it worth my time, I guess the keyword that comes to mind is options. Not only does the game give you options in terms of being able to choose what routes you will take to reach one of the 5 different endings, but also when it comes to music, visual, and difficulty options as well. Starting with the music, the game gives you 9 different tracks to choose from, so you can zoom down the highway in style. While this may not be a huge number by the standards of some video game soundtracks today, I still think that each of the songs is really catchy, and getting to choose the right song before starting each race is a neat feature. Not only that, but the fact that even the newer ones added in the Switch port have been recreated to sound like they would have on the original hardware is pretty cool. Likewise, I think that it is really cool how the game lets you play around with the visuals so that you can tailor the experience you want from the game. Whether you want to play the game in full screen, with everything as HD as possible, or in arcade mode, with scanlines included, the game gives you a variety of different looks to choose from. It even goes as far as letting you crank the game down from its normal 60 to 30 frames per second, if you're in the mood for that authentic arcade feel, I guess. Finally, I think that the ability to mess around with the difficulty is what I appreciate the most. While other arcade-style games either make you deal with the insane coin-munching difficulty, which can make them a slog to play through, or have you just spam infinite lives, which can make it feel like it takes all the stakes out of the game, OutRun has a nice balance where it lets you mess around with the settings so that you can play according to where you feel comfortable in your skills. When I first started playing, for instance, I felt like I could not get the hang of the game, and definitely found myself getting rid of other cars on the road, as well as giving myself a much longer time limit. Now that I've been playing the game for a bit though, I've cranked things back up, so there is a new challenge for me as I weave through cars and having to do each section of the map much faster. Now with all that being said, there is one other option that the game gives you that I have not yet talked about, but want to mention here as a negative towards the game. I am of course talking about the option to play the game with motion controls if you so wish. Though you were supposed to be able to steer the car with the Joy-Con like in Mario Kart, I could never seem to get this feature to work correctly for me. Keep in mind that I'm not at all saying that everyone's going to have the same experience as me, but I personally had a real bad time on the occasions I tried this feature out, and therefore just felt that this was worth warning about. In the end though, I think that OutRun is a very nice little retro game, and definitely a lot of fun. Though it has a simple objective, I feel like the different routes you can take, as well as the ability to change up the music, visuals, and difficulty, give the game a lot of replayability. Throw in the fact that the game is pretty cheap, currently about $6.99 I want to say, and you have yourself a game that I think is a must-have for anyone with a Nintendo Switch. But hey, that's just my opinion. And remember, don't take anything I say too seriously. After all, I'm just the Wannabe Reviewer. Thanks for watching.